sing us a joy song.
Okay. Well, it turns out, reason we came back here to Nebraska this time was to attend a funeral for Jan's cousin, he's back from Vietnam in about 50 years ago. And he recently, last Sunday, took his life. So I was asked to sing a song for him, and I thought I'd like to share it with you. That's kind of the ultimate graduation, I guess. But it was a powerful song that helped me get a gut feeling for some of the things that are going on for the vets. It was about 300 people there that I sang this for.
In other words, it's not a joy
Not
song.
exactly a joy song, no, but sorry. I think you'll enjoy it anyway. Didn't I make you proud? Go and lay down, life down when you call my name. I thought I stood for something, was doing the right thing when I went away. Now being back should be so simple, but I keep getting these mixed signals from everyone. Why do folks sit and judge me who ain't seen what I seen or did what I've done? Didn't I burn? Didn't I bleed enough for you? I faced your fears, felt pain, so you wouldn't have to. Yeah, didn't I do my best? It wasn't home here when I left. I've seen boys fall to pieces, grown men cry out for Jesus till they're black and blue. I thought God was on our side. Weren't we supposed to be the good guys who would never lose? 'Cause I don't see no ticker tape or 5 mile parade saying thank you, son. Just folks that sit and judge me who ain't seen what I seen or did what I've done. Didn't I burn? Didn't I bleed enough for you? I faced your fears, felt pain, so you wouldn't have to. Yeah, didn't I do my best? It wasn't home here when I left.
Well, of course, Bill, your voice is terrific. The song is very emotional,
Boy, it was
like the
hard to get through
tears.
it. It was hard to get through it. Practicing, I couldn't get through it for many days.
Wow. Well, okay. Excuse me. I get we're going to move along then. And where are we? Well, we passed the joy song. Okay. All righty.
You should
The
sing
Christ candle.
say.
I know. I actually still have the tears in my eyes, but
Bill sang two
well, I
songs.
mean,
Barbara, Bill sang two songs, and I think that he needs to sing the second one right now. If you all could let him do that. Bill, can you sing the second one?
well,
Is
he
that
has other times when he can do it. I think we
Okay,
just
well,
move along,
the joy
and
song. It's just it makes
and he
me.
can.
It's just in the wrong order. I have to go to the ranch.
Okay, you guys. Well, since we're so flexible, what do we think? Sure, go for it if he wants to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh, you wanted
Yeah,
to?
I mean, Bill, it's up to you.
It's up to you,
If
Bill.
you would like to sing another song right now and get our spirits up a little bit more, it's
Okay,
okay.
let's do
Second
that.
song you sang there.
Yes.
That would be wonderful. For me too.
Kind,
Okay.
kind friends all gathered round. There's something I would say, that what brings us together here has blessed us all today. Love has made a circle that holds us all inside, where strangers are as family and loneliness can't hide. You must give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. I walk these mountains in the rain. I've learned to love the wind. I've been up before the sunrise to watch the day begin. I always knew I'd find you, though I never did know how. But like sunshine on a cloudy day, you stand before me now. You must give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is born in fire. It's planted like a seed. Love can't give you everything, but it gives you what you need. Love comes when you are ready. Love comes when you're afraid. It will be your greatest teacher, the best friend you have made. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love.
Thank you.
There you go.
All right, Bill, that was very joyful.
There.
As Pat
I'm going to
and
go.
David and I know so we can sing with you. Anyway, let's light our Christ candle. And here she is, the bigger angel. And as we light it, we acknowledge the presence and the power of the Christ that lives within each of us, that energy force. We are it, and it is us. We are grateful, and so it is. And now, Bill will sing. Okay, surely the presence and the Lord's Prayer. You can do both,
Sure.
one or
Yes.
all, or what?
Yes, I do
Sure.
both.
Yeah, and we will mute so we can sing.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can heal his mighty power and his grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the light is in this place. I can feel her mighty power and her grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the light is in this place. And the Lord's Prayer. Okay. Our Father and Mother, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen.
Thank you, Bill. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, your voice is just so great. Love it.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to read to you from the program things for us to think about and remember. So first, the invocation affirmation. This is who we are. There is only one presence and one power active in my life, God, the good omnipotent. Then there is only one presence and one power active in Unity Clear Lake Center, God, the good omnipotent. And finally, there is only one presence and one power active in our world, God, the good omnipotent. Now, this mission statement, that reflects the heart of our church. So, Unity Clear Lake Center is committed to loving all and empowering people to transform their lives through the practice of universal spiritual principles and the energy of God's love. And the 5 basic ideas of unity is the basic foundation of unity. The first one, God is absolute good, everywhere present. 2, human beings have a spark of divine spirit within them, the Christ consciousness within, therefore they are inherently good. 3, human beings create their experience by the activity of their thinking. Thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. Number 4, prayer is the process that affirms our connection with God mind and brings forth wisdom, healing, and everything good. And finally, knowing and understanding the universal laws, also called truth, are not enough. A person must also live the truth that he or she knows. Truth. Okay, all right, Bill, I think you're up again. Bill will honor us with a wonderful song that I'm going to mute. I could sing or something.
Okay, well, this is the joy song. So here we
This is the joy one.
And if we can talk Jan into joining me.
I've already left.
This is her song. This is her song. Here she comes. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of my love, all of my kissing. You don't know what you've been a missing, oh boy.
Oh
When you were
boy.
with me, oh boy.
Oh boy.
The world to see that you were meant for me. All of my life I've been waiting. Tonight there'll be no hesitating, no boy. When you're with me, oh boy.
Oh boy.
The world to see that you can mend for me. Stars appear and shadows are falling. You can hear my heart a calling. A little bit of love makes everything right. I'm gonna see my baby life. All of my life I've been waiting. Tonight there'll be no hesitating. Oh boy,
Oh boy.
when you're with me, oh
Oh
boy,
boy. Oh boy.
to see that you were meant for me. There you go.
I guess I haven't gone yet.
Hey.
Oh boy, love it. You know I love it. That's great. Okay, so moving along to the daily word. That's right. I wanted to remind you that the title was Graduation, the Next Step. So just a couple of days ago, in the wonderful daily word, I thought this one fit. This graduation, the next step. And the message is, I relax into the flow of life. So here we go. We're graduating. We're going to move into the flow of life. When I want to feel in the flow of life, I visualize myself drifting along a beautiful stream. There is no effort, only a deep trust that I am carried along by a gentle current. Living in the flow of life means staying in the same state of trust. I trust the nature of God is absolute good and divine order is always at work. I trust in the divinity of my fellow human beings and behold the Christ presence in everyone. I trust the world overflows with abundance and blessing, which flow to me effortlessly. I remain steeped in this awareness, relaxing into the easy rhythm of taking life as it comes, free from struggle. And discord, I drift serenely over untroubled waters, always in the flow. And from John 7:38, and let the one who believes in me drink. As the scriptures has said, one out of the believer's heart shall flow rivers of living water. And so, my friends, I want to introduce to you Reverend Dave Lyman from Sacramento. And of course, we went through this last time, beginning speaking in 2008. So now I've added a year. So I think that's like 14 years. Our speaker at our Unity Church blessed us every single time. And I know he has over 100 teddy bears. He doesn't bring them all every time, but we will always associate the loving, cuddly teddy bear with our wonderful Dave Lyman. And so, David, I'm handing it over to you.
Thanks, Barbara. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's nice to be here. And one of the most interesting things is that you guys are meeting sometimes physically, and there will come a time in the future that I'll be there. My mobility issues are challenged. So if I show up, I will be moving much slower. But I look forward to a point in time when I can actually see each of you right in front of me. Maria Shriver has a column on Sunday morning called Sunday Pages. And in the last couple of weeks, she talked about the fact that with the pandemic, everything has changed. But because of it, all the rules have been tossed out. We're making everything up as if for the first time. So in a way, we're limitless in what we can choose to do. But it makes for some interesting times. Once a month, my wife, who leads an organization called Interfaith Explorers, puts out a newsletter. And I'm blessed to be a volunteer senior minister for her. It's interesting to work for your wife. She tells me my volunteer salary could be doubled at any point in time, and one day I may get off probation. But I put out a column called Minister's Musings, and I wanted to go through the one that I did in May. So let me read it to you. There was a period in my life in the summer of 1968 that I was sure it was all over. In April, Martin Luther King Jr. had been assassinated, and then in June, Robert Kennedy was killed. It seemed to me in my 20th year that we'd crossed the line and we were on our way to oblivion. But out of that came a period of new growth never seen before. And it seems like we're in that same place again. There are continuous extreme bouts of violence and shootings in the world. There is a polarization between beliefs, with each side being deeply entrenched in their opinions. Yet a friend of mine reminded me of the phoenix, and that bird, when it goes through rebirth, must totally destroy and disintegrate into flames. So we're in the midst of the flames of letting go. And each of us is here at this time because we are spiritual warriors. We have chosen to be here. Though there's a part of us that goes, really? Each of us are providing, in the personal approach of how we show up, a compass that is part of the balance that moves us forward. Each of us is critical in that compass. Trust we must, for our co-pilot is the divine. And we're often reminded how brave and courageous we are. It is said the ultimate act of courage is growing old. But we're also reminded we're not alone. Standing on each side of us is another spiritual warrior with arms locked. And as we move forward, we take that next step. It's a grand adventure, and here we go. And that was my column. And it segued very nicely into writing a talk about graduation. Because in truth, we are graduating. You know, June is a time of educational graduation, but in terms of life with the pandemic and all that's going on in our lives, this is a time of spiritual graduation. And the Bible talks about it. In Isaiah, it is said, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up, and I must look and see it. I'm making a way in the wilderness, and there are streams in the wasteland." In Romans, it said, "Do not conform to the patterns of the world, but be transformed by renewing in our minds." Graduation is the next step. It's the next level. And it's a celebration that occurs, and goodness knows we don't do a lot of ritual celebrations. You know, as far as I'm concerned, when somebody goes from 9 to 10 years old, it's the only time in our life, other than 99 to 100, that we add a digit to our age. There should be a grand celebration then. And so graduation is quite a celebration. But we should celebrate also the spiritual part of the graduation, not just the educational. There are gifts in spiritual graduation if we recognize what's going on. The first is our spiritual graduation celebrates stepping into a new place. It's, we have learned a lesson. We have stepped into the next level. It's that point in time when we were a senior in high school and we were in charge of the world. The world was our oyster. We were seniors. It was the best. And yet, in 6 months after that, we were neophytes. We were freshmen. We knew nothing. We started all over again. Such is spiritual graduation. We reach an arena, we master and grow, and take into the step of the next mystery for us. And through all of that, there's a quiet and steady voice that goes with us. The second thing is graduation celebrates accomplishment. It celebrates completion. And what we forget is to take a look at that. I was a hypnotherapist and I had a client that was with me for 4 or 5 months. And she had a number of issues she was resolving in life. And she came in at one point in time and said, and I started off as I did my sessions, how has your last 2 weeks been? She said, oh, it's been okay. Nothing abnormal. And as we talked, she mentioned she had gone into her boss and made a presentation to get a raise. And she got it. She also had made an appointment with her mother, who she had boundary issues with, and they had a cleansing hour together, renegotiating how they would relate to each other. But nothing happened in those 2 weeks. And it was because it was all coming from the inside out. We spend time with self-doubt going, should I do this? Should I not do this? Should I not do that? There's a great story with Melody Beatty, who wrote Codependent No More. She talks about being 12 years old in the backseat of a car with a friend of hers. And they were driving down the road. And the front window was open and the wind was blowing on them. And Melody was sitting there going, I really would like to have that window rolled up. When is a good time to do that? When should I ask Quinn to do that? And a friend leaned over and said, roll up the window, we're wind blowing back here. And Melody looked at her and went, you mean you can do it like that? That spiritual graduation is letting our voice speak its heart, saying what we have, knowing in truth it is our voice. The third is graduation celebrates an emerging picture. You know, when we get to that new spot, as freshmen, whatever it looks like, we're a little anxious. We're a little, do we fit in? But with spiritual graduation, we have the best co-pilot in the world. And we only need to take that breath and ground with that co-pilot to realize that our blueprints have changed. We are moving to the next step with beauty and grace. It is said that people that have near-death experiences or have auto accidents or get diagnoses that are terminal will walk out and see a sunset in an entirely different way, because they're seeing it in the preciousness of its truth. It's an interesting thing with the pandemic. It seems to me when we come together physically, it would be very interesting to open it up with a circle and let people just look at each other. To look into each other's eyes, because it's such a precious thing in comparison to what we've been going through. Number 4 would be graduation celebrates transformation. It's that divine part of us blossoming. And our spiritual yearning that pulls us forward is a continuous call to graduate to the next step. Now, the difficulty is we have ego on this side and we have the divine on this side, and they rub up against each other. So it feels like a roller coaster. It feels like often it really is true that they show in the cartoons. There's a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other, and they're both talking to you at the same time. When in truth, it is all part of the same journey. It's allowing that the truth that no matter what the situation, though our ego's not always so sure, there is always room for peace. There is always room for peace. I've talked before about one of our prayer chaplains who, as we went through the training, added something to her prayer that from that point on, many of us used in our prayers. She would finish her prayer. The last word she would say was, "And all is well." And all is well. Because in truth, it is that next step. And one of the interesting things is in educational graduation, we always talk about the foundation that our parents were there holding space for us. In spiritual graduation, unlike educational, God is walking with us and never does go away. Collaborates and is our co-pilot on everything. But in order to be fully present in the spiritual growth and graduation to the next step, we've got to surrender to a truth that our fragile human ego does not like. It does not like this. And that is, wherever you are is right where you're meant to be on your path. People will say, "Well, I got lost, I wandered off." No, you didn't. You are always on your spiritual path. Sometimes there are turns. This is the river of life. There are eddies in the corner, and you may go around and around and around in an eddy for a while. But everything in your life has conspired to bring you to this very point, this very place. And our job is to own it. To own it with swagger. What does swagger look like? Swagger looks like somebody just strutting out onto the stage. We want to move that forward and spiritually know we are right where we need to be and our voice is ours. And not go, I put my whole sermon together just to use this word, not to go skulking down the corners behind the bushes and things, kind of going, I don't know, is this the right time to say this? Our job is to own it. And there is an additional step to graduating. It's the truth that there is a sense of direction. We're all moving toward going home. And each step of it, we have an option. The option is, there is, in truth, these winds of change that occur in our life. And it is really easy to lean back and let the winds of change blow us to wherever we go. But in thinking about it, that makes me realize that at times we end up settling. The winds of change may blow us to this place or that place. And in settling, we may be in that job a little longer than we think. We may be in that relationship a little longer than we think. Rachel and I have been married 15 years. And I've shared before, she asked me out by email And now and then will look at me and say, you know, all I really wanted was a date, and then harass me. But she also shared that this was the first time in her life that she picked the man she wanted to meet and to date. There came a point in time when we were in fellowship hall, honest to goodness story. And as I walked across this fellowship hall with people all talking to each other, she jumped in front of me and said, I quote, "I don't know why some woman hasn't just snapped you right up." And I looked at her and went, what? And so it's a powerful, powerful thing for her because she chose me. And in the end, I'm the luckiest guy on the planet because I get to be with her every day. Even though she does harass me and say all I wanted was a date. It is that truth of spiritual graduation in that she picked her voice and made a statement. And so there's a lot of levels to graduation, but the truth is, wherever we are, we're moving forward toward graduation to the next level. And we may be in a point in time when right now we are seniors. Hey, we got it. We know everything. We've got this down to a science. Trust me. Shortly, you will be a freshman and not know anything. And at that point in time, you take a breath and know, okay, God, I don't know what I'm doing, but you're here with me. So let's just keep moving forward. The cool part about it is there are a few sets of facts, a foundation that you may not realize that as I started to think about it, I went, oh, this is way cool. And it is. You've been accepted in school. You're fully enrolled. Your tuition has been paid. Your curriculum is the fact that you're on this planet right now. Secondly, you don't have to devote your life to just enlightenment. You can play in this game of illusion that is all around us. This was a birthday week for me, and we went to Leatherby's for a 7,000 calorie hot fudge sundae. I loved the illusion of it. Every single bite. Does that mean I don't meditate and I don't do this? And I do all that. But this is just such a precious place. There are movies out where an angel will come down to earth and take their first bite or feel the wind for the first time, and their eyes roll back in their head because it is such a precious experience. The really cool part about life, each of you will have a precious experience before the end of the day. It may be your cat wetting his tail in front of you. It may be hearing a piece of music. And the pandemic has really inspired a deeper level of awareness. Third, a basic foundational fact. I don't like this. And many people in my age group do not like this, but it is a truth. We don't need to believe in a religion. There's a whole bunch of 20-year-olds that don't. They basically say, my job is to have a personal relationship with God. And I'm the one that's developing that. So tomorrow I may go to a Buddhist service, and next week I may go to a Baptist church. The truth is that spiritual steps we take allow us to step into that place. And so we don't need to be a monk. We don't need to be celibate and live in a cave in Tibet. And we are here to know that as we turn to Spirit for advice, that is that personal relationship with God. And each of you have it. Because one of the interesting things about doing sermons is I'm preaching to the choir. You are here because you are in faith. In this time of spiritual graduation, you're in a position never before done in the history of the world. There are spiritual warriors because we have no knowledge if we drive to the grocery store if we will come home. The world is a different kind of place. But on top of it all, you are attending the best spiritual academy for spiritual graduation you could ever attend. The teachers have been handpicked for you. Your curriculum was designed specifically for you. Every issue you have, there is someone who will come along as your salvation so that you can find those points within where you aren't quite as divine as you'd like to be. And as you move forward on that, that is spiritual graduation. It's a time in our life where we don't want to have to go ahead and wait for the answers. We step out and we make the answers. And so it is. And so it is. Oh, let me take a breath on that and let us take a little bit of time to know that in that stepping into spiritual graduation, we're going to take a moment to just step within. Because now our minds are filled with all these different things. But to know that we, at this very moment, are filled with the peace of God. As we take a breath, we drop deeper within ourselves. To a place deep within. Where we have a spiritual sanctuary. Filled with peace and calm. Filled perhaps with a feeling. Filled perhaps with a place we visited. With a stream or a brook. And in the distance, perhaps the sound of wind chimes. As the breeze calms us. And as we settle deeper within, we tap into this peace. This peace that is so deep that if we were a cat, we would be purring. And in this place, we realize that just being here refuels us. Fills us with strength. Fills us with serenity. And as we take a deep breath, we let it wash over us. Giving such thanks. Knowing in this place we need not think. We need not figure it out. We only breathe. We say, thank you, God. What a sweet and precious gift. For it is the present, this very moment. We take another breath. And allowing this rejuvenation, we let it expand to all the corners of who we are. To every part of who we are. And we take a breath and say, thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, for this most amazing adventure, for the next spiritual graduation that is ahead for us. For the next arena. And as we do so, we start to come back into that fully conscious state. We start to be aware that we are on a Zoom meeting. We start to let the energy come back into our bodies more and more. But noticing it is as if we've had a long afternoon nap, that we're refueled and rejuvenated and filled with a peace past understanding. And we give thanks. We take another breath and let that energy build to be full consciousness, full awareness, full alertness, knowing in truth that we are ever present with this family. And when the time is right, to open our eyes. Or there is that saying that says, you can't trust atoms because they make everything up. And so it is. Sorry about that. I couldn't help myself.
I know. And the trouble with me is that it takes me a minute sometimes to get it. So those atoms, right. Well, now, wait a minute. I got to have a sip of my lemon water.
Thank you for that,
Oh,
David.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That was a real lesson. There's the teddy bear.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, here we are. Yeah, there were a lot of things in there, but I just feel like you said, we are doing this now for this time in our life. So as we evolve, and that's what it is. So yes.
I just have to decide, am I a senior or a freshman?
In what I'm doing now, you're right, freshman, right, Pat?
It's like
We're
different
Yep.
things, different levels.
different levels.
Absolutely.
We're studying Charles Fillmore, and oh my gosh.
Yeah,
He
we're
was
never
at a
too old to learn.
Right.
Sometimes I wonder. But
I
oh,
know, but it's worth it. I mean, it's what we're here to do. And so, yes, David, thank you. Thank you. It was wonderful talk.
yeah,
So
David, we're on the
wonderful.
cusp of some amazing things.
Mhm.
Amazing things are going to be happening. Yeah, I just believe that. And
really
you
are.
definitely put it right where it belongs with graduation and becoming a freshman again, starting all over.
Yep.
Thank you.
Well, continuing. Yes.
Moving on.
With a different view. I'm looking at everything differently now. So yay, okay. It's good. So let's see. We did that. We want to make announcements. And well, like you say, it seems, David, it's working out to have the two things going on. The church is open on, the first and third Sunday. And so Patricia will continue giving the talk on that state of grace and going on from there, conscious union with God. So that'll be next Sunday. And, for the group that shows up, although I guess last Sunday, right, Pat? You were there. So what did it sounded like we ended up with like same amount as the Zoom type of thing. A few different people showed up at church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a
And-
few.
Yeah.
but
But
they
like you
haven't come
said, this
back
thing
yet,
about starting
but
in a circle, well, Pat decided, because to start with, hardly anybody, but then she had the round table and people were just going to sit around and discuss this
Yeah,
topic.
we had 7 showed up last.
So
And it
yeah.
was a nice roundtable discussion. It was just really great.
Yeah, that looking into people's eyes, Dave, as you mentioned, of course that, and that's what's missing from this, except I'm looking into somebody's eyes, Bill's eyes. There you go. No, you have to sort of make do sometimes. And that's, for me, this is working also. And then she has her YouTube that she does of her service, which I say is terrific. Okay, so then the 2 Sundays from then, we have Reverend Dave McNair, who was a spiritual leader in the church back in the early 2000s. I think he had 6 years there, sort of overlapped. And yeah, so here we go. His topic, I don't know where we are, but if we keep on going, we'll end up somewhere. Sounds like your talk. So I love it. And he's always terrific. And we will just, oh yeah, and Bill will be back with this music. Are you going to be back in Hidden Valley by then in 2 weeks? You're muted, but it's okay.
I'm muted. Yes, there I am.
Yeah, we see your head shaking, so
Yeah,
it's
I'm
good.
going to come back in about a week.
Yeah, super. Well, I think what we're going to just
Barbara,
do.
Barbara, can I tell a quick story?
Yes, you may. Oh, that's right. No, wait, let me do this one last thing and then it'll be your turn and then Bill's gonna sing.
Okay.
All I want to do is remind you, you're all wonderful, that donations are greatly appreciated. Keep us going. And that, mail it to Unity, P.O. Box 755, Lower Lake 95453, or 7, where'd the 3? Yeah, very good. Excellent. Okay, Dave, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say, Dave McNair speaks at Napa,
Yeah.
and he had talked to me. I'd met him someplace, and Napa was looking for a new speaker. So I told them about Dave McNair, and they decided they'd bring him in and try him out, right? And so what Dave did is the very first sermon he did, for the first 5 or 8 minutes, he preached hell and brimstone. Like a Baptist minister, that you were going to go to hell. And all the board president could think of was, I am going to get Dave for this. I had recommended him. So
He sounds like David.
and then he got to a certain point and he said, only kidding. And I just love that, because that really shows the spirit of Dave McNair.
Oh,
Yeah, no, he's terrific too. And I guess he became one of the regulars there until he decided to kind of take a little vacation. But regular time and regular. So I learned that from booking him this next time. And then he's going to be in a few months after that. So rather quickly back. So we are so blessed. We have these wonderful speakers, and yeah, I mean, we're being supported. So we just keep doing what we're doing and learning and evolving and graduating and whatever is meant to be. Okay, Bill, give us a song. Closing song.
Okay, well, I'm sorry if I brought people down at the beginning, but that was such a meaningful time for me, and I'm sorry.
What's your problem?
But that's part of life too, I think.
course.
And I needed to step up
Fortunately.
and speak my truth, so that was it. It helped me understand some of the rage that a lot of people are feeling in this culture right now. I don't know why I hadn't known. And it was like going back to kindergarten and learning this song, and it helped me maybe graduate. So I feel better. I think it was a positive thing for me. I hope it's not too bad for anybody else.
Bill, I'd already forgotten about it. Now you're bringing it back. You better have a good song.
Still there. Just to look in your eyes again, just to lay in your arms, just to be the first one, always there for you, just to live in your laughter, just to sing in your heart, just to be every one of your dreams come true, just to sit by your window, just to touch in the night, just to offer a prayer each day for you, just to long for your kisses, just to dream of your sighs, just to know that I'd give my life for you, for you, for the rest of my life, for you, all the best of my life, for you alone, only for you, just to wake up each morning, just you there by my side, just to know that you're never really far away, just a reason for living, just to say I adore, just to know that you're here in my heart to stay, for you, for the rest of my life, for you, all the best of my life, for you alone, only for you, just the words of a love song, just the beat of my heart, just the pledge of my life, my love for you. Ending with a love song.
A love song to God, right?
That's right.
That's right.
And to the environment,
Well,
to the sunrise, to the rain, everything.
to everything.